Hello to all you wonderful IHBonces. My name is Dominic Demore. Yeah, that's a brand new nickname for you guys. I got Jim chuckling over there. I don't know what you guys want me to do. Every episode, I tell you guys to submit your suggestions for what you want to be called. So right now, you're the IHBonces. So I am Dominic Demore, and I want to thank you for tuning in to the second best thing you will hear all week. We have a great show for you today that includes the top-notch film news, along with our assorted thoughts and opinions, ranging from insightful to downright obnoxious. This is the I've Had Better Movies podcast. Let's kick it off. James, what do we have for the fans this week?
First off, I want to say I'm back, and I apologize.
Little shaggy less on the top, but he's back.
I have all my fingers, so we're okay.
See what happens when you miss? I get to make up fun stories.
Yeah, well, we couldn't, it's possible. It could have happened.
It happened. I mean,
it is awfully curly.
It is. It's a forest of Endor up there.
All right. Moving on. Our first trailer we have is the Beauty and the Beast trailer, starring Emma Watson. Yeah,
the teaser trailer for this one just dropped, and the internet blew up.
Yeah, they were a fan.
All right, and this is a definite teaser trailer. Something we're not too used to over the last couple of months, really, even maybe best 2 years. I don't know if I've seen a true teaser trailer like this in a while.
Especially Suicide Squads. They've just been ruining it with going with like 2.5 minute teaser trailers.
Exactly, and we get a little bit of in this trailer, not much. We get a swiping paw. We get the classic rose, and we get a little bit of voices. So, did you have a part that stood out to you?
Emma Watson.
Yeah. That was a dumb question. I know James has a soft spot for the former Hogwarts graduate.
I do. She's the best. So smart.
Yeah. I have to admit, I wasn't crazy about the trailer, and like I said, it's probably because I'm spoiled from trailers in the past. I just wanted more. But then you think about it, we are a long way out from this movie.
Yeah, 2017. What is it? March 2017.
Yeah, so we're just under a year away. Makes sense to release the teaser trailer now. It gets people interested. And it's interesting that they didn't release it a little bit closer to the weekend, because Alice Through the Looking Glass premieres. A couple days difference probably won't hurt it too much, but I definitely think there'll be some Disney enthusiasts who are like, oh, we have the live action Alice in Wonderland, we have the live action Beauty and the Beast, this is awesome.
Yeah, probably. I mean, I don't know how I feel about the live action stuff yet. I'm a big fan of the animated.
Yeah, I hear you.
It's messing with tradition.
A little bit, but I mean, the Jungle Book was great.
Jungle Book was good. I hope it's not the only one that is good, because they're all really good stories.
Yeah, this one looks good, and it looks like it's going to be really faithful to the story, or the original animated that we remember.
Yeah, I feel like Disney always is faithful. I don't feel like they try to change anything. Mm-hmm. They stick to what they know, and that's what they do best.
Yeah. As much as I liked Emma Watson in this trailer, the part that got me the most excited is the rest of the cast, like the voices of the different objects, like Lumiere and stuff like that.
Yeah, I was just scrolling through the cast because I was curious. We've got Ian McGregor, Luke Evans, Ian McKellen, Emma Thompson, Josh Gad, Stanley Tucci, Kevin Kline. That's quite a few people.
Yeah, no, it's insane. I mean, just having Ian McKellen and Ewan McGregor voicing, like, those are two of my favorite voices in Hollywood. Right?
Yeah.
Like, Ewan McGregor, I could listen to that guy read like the newspaper every morning.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Ian McKellen has a terrific voice.
Yes, he does. I mean, you can't go wrong with Gandalf and Magneto in your movie.
Gandalf, I mean, is one of the best characters ever, I think.
Yeah.
He's just so interesting, and he's so much taller than all the hobbits.
There's a key factor in how good your character is. Is he much taller than the rest of the characters he acts with?
Yeah, it looks great.
All right, so let us know what your guys' thoughts were on the teaser trailer. It was pretty short, so we can't go into a whole lot of depth with it. But still, did you know this movie was coming out? If you did this increase your likelihood of going to see it. And if you didn't know it was coming out, has this sparked a fire underneath you that says, I cannot wait to go see that pretty yellow dress and that big old beast on silver screen? You can let us know at IHB Podcast or hit us up on our Facebook wall at the I've Had Better podcast page. On to our next story. Fans of the blonde-haired, blue-eyed... Is Chris Hemsworth blue-eyed?
Let's find out real quick. It's gotta be. Blonde and beautiful. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's definitely blue-eyed. All right, well, fans of the blonde-haired, blue-eyed, hammer-wielding god of the Marvel Universe, Thor, will be happy to find out that Karl Urban of the tragically underappreciated Dredd film and Jeff Goldblum of the Independence Day franchise has signed on to star in Thor Ragnarok. Goldblum will play a character named the Grandmaster, a cosmic being who controls lesser life forms like pawns, and Urban will play an Asgardian warrior named Scourge, also known as the Executioner in the comics. He's a bad guy, by the way. James, does this casting do anything in the old gym shorts for you?
Who's Grandmaster? What does he do?
He, in the comics, he is the brother of the Collector.
Okay.
Who
is
is
played by Benicio
del Toro. Well
I remember that one.
Yes, well done. He is, he's a cosmic being who kind of can influence things. Like I believe he has control over matter and things like that, and he can influence people, and essentially he, what is believed to be the story in this is he collects warriors and then makes them fight.
Okay.
Yeah.
Slavery?
Essentially, yeah, very close. So he's a all-powerful being that is, at least that's what he's in the comics, and it appears that he'll probably be the one or has some influence in the Hulk and Thor coming to one of the realms or planets that they're going to go to.
I think that could be interesting. I do actually like Karl Urban as a bad guy.
I do too. It felt, especially if you look up the character, I'll put a picture of the Scourge / Executioner in the YouTube video, but he looks a whole lot like Valko from the Chronicles of Riddick / Riddick. Very similar. He's just a giant brooding warrior who uses an enchanted battle axe, and he's got super strength and all that stuff, and he's not interesting enough villain-wise for me, because I think Karl Urban is great, and I think he's a underappreciated actor, and I wish for something more from him. Honestly, I would love to see him in a hero role, so we can see him again and again.
Yeah, but I mean, that would be good to see. I don't know anything about Scourge, so I'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, my knowledge of him is from he's been in a couple of the cartoon shows. Like I think he has a couple of episodes with Avengers, Earth Mightiest Heroes, like that TV show that was on Disney, I think, for a couple of years, back when the Avengers movie came out. And in the comics, he mostly runs with a fellow villain named the Enchantress, I believe. But in this film, he'll probably be teaming up with Hela, who is to be played by Cate Blanchett. And I know you saw the concept art that I posted on the Facebook wall.
I did. It looked pretty badass.
Yes, it did. And she is the perfect casting. Like, she is the reason I'm super excited to see this movie.
Yeah, it's got some Medusa to her.
Yes. And she's essentially like the queen of hell, sort of, in the Thor universe. And from everything I've heard, like, I think Mark Ruffalo recently had an interview, and like, she's the real deal. She's just coming to annihilate.
Yeah. Cate Blanchett is a better Charlize Theron. I just imagine. That's what I picture. A better female villain.
That works. I mean,
like, Charlize Theron is a poor man's Cate Blanchett.
Yeah, I would agree with that statement. The last time I remember seeing her as a villain, I think, was in the last Indiana Jones. She plays like a Nazi villain, so
I blame the movie.
Yeah, I do as well, because she's a fantastic actress.
She's got Oscars.
Yeah, I mean, she was in Carol from last year. She got nominated, so honestly, I'm not a huge fan of the Thor films, but with this cast, I'm extremely excited.
Yeah, it's an impressive one. And, I mean, Marvel's still just getting all these awesome actors every time.
Yeah.
And have they really gone wrong with any of their castings?
Not that I can say no.
Yeah, Karl Urban might pan out.
I think there have been some wasted actors. Christopher Eccleston, I think his name. I could look it up, but he was the one who brought Doctor Who back. He was the villain from Gone in 60 Seconds. He was the bad guy of the last Thor film, and he felt a little wasted, but it wasn't bad casting. It was just the character was a little underdeveloped. And I can say the same thing about the guy who played Ronan the Accuser in Guardians of the Galaxy. He's a wonderful actor who just not a great role to take, but none of the casting that I can think of has ever gone wrong.
Yeah. And I just think some of the villains are just weaker characters.
And that's true, yeah.
They're not as interesting as the heroes, obviously.
Yeah. I'm curious when casting makes that turn, though, because as you make so many movies, there's only so many really good actors.
Yeah.
And eventually you're going to get to the point where it's like, all right, we need this guy in this role. Who's left? We've got George Clooney's younger brother, and we've got Jeffrey Rush, but he's like 90.
Yeah.
So
he's 90, and he played another character 4 movies ago.
So yeah, but I love the idea of both Urban and Goldblum being in the Thor film.
I agree. Good choices, Marvel.
Yeah.
Well done.
Yeah. Okay, Jim, hit us with the next story.
It feels like we should have a designated segment each week for Dwayne Johnson, seeing as he seems to be cast in everything these days. But it has now been announced that the wrestler turned megastar has inked a deal with Universal to produce a collective universe of movies based on the best-selling novels of Robert Ludlum, who is most commonly known as the author of Jason Bourne series. The first film is to be developed is based on the book The Janssen Directive. Dominator. Tell me about it.
Well, at its core, I like this idea because it's more work for Dwayne Johnson, and the guy's obviously amazing. But there's a lot of detractors here. Along with Dwayne, somebody else who this deal is with is James Vanderbilt, who will be writing the film. And his rundown's not great for me. He worked on Amazing Spider-Man 2, Zodiac, and White House Down, which doesn't exactly inspire confidence in these movies being good.
So the characters, he's haunted by his memories of the Vietnam War.
Yeah, which I assume will be the Iraq War in this film.
Yeah, you think they'll do the Iraq War?
Yeah, because they can't. I don't think they're going to make this like a period piece. Like, I don't think it's going to take place in the 90s or anything like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, the book supposedly tells the story of a former Navy SEAL and a prisoner of war named Paul Janssen, who works as the best corporate security consultant in the world. But when an assignment to rescue a VIP goes wrong, he's forced to go on the run. I'm not going to lie, I'm not super excited about the story. And to be honest, I hate the title. I hate the name. Like, Dwayne Johnson does not look like a Paul Janssen. I don't get that.
Yeah, they should change his name.
Yeah. Plus, with something like Jason Bourne, like, that name hits and it pops. Like, it's Jason Bourne. And, like, it immediately invokes the idea that, like, oh, we're screwed. Like, in this one, it's Paul Janssen. Like, oh my God, he's coming to do our taxes.
Yeah, Paul's such a boring name.
Yeah.
It's too old.
It is. So, I'm not crazy about that.
It's about time they get Dwayne Johnson playing an ex-Navy SEAL, though. I mean...
Yeah.
Dude's a monster.
Do you think he can...
Act?
Essentially, like, can he be a leading man? Because most of his, like, major films, like the ones that we love him for, he's a kind of a supporting actor. Like, he or co-lead in some points, but he's always got somebody to play off of. And in this one, if you're on the run, most likely you're either by yourself or he probably picks up a love interest along the way somewhere.
Just like Jason Bourne. I mean, he's on screen probably 85% of the time.
Yeah.
And then he does pick up a love interest. Mm-hmm. So that's probably going to happen.
Although one thing is, in Jason Bourne, I bet you Matt Damon doesn't have more than like 30 pages of dialogue.
Yeah, it can't be too long.
Yeah, and
except in the new one, it seems like he may have more.
Yeah, that's possible. But in Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson's case, we have seen him in films with limited dialogue, and that he's amazing.
What was the movie where he got shot?
Faster.
Yeah,
with Billy Bob Thornton
he
and
probably
my
had
girl.
about 15 words.
Yeah, no, and he was great in that film, like super intimidating. Like I think that was one of his first real movie roles.
Yeah, he's got that perfect look.
Yeah, I mean
the eyebrows.
The eyebrow.
They're so angry.
They are. So I'm not entirely sold on this film. They changed the name and cast somebody pretty decent across from him. I think it's going to be great and it could turn into a real franchise. What do you think of potential crossover amongst the other Bourne films? Like we heard rumors for a while that they were going to do a
Matt Damon, Jeremy Renner.
Yeah, what if they did Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, Jeremy Renner? Because I don't think
it'd be interesting.
Yeah, I don't think Damon has many more Bournes left in him. I think this one might be his last one. I mean, it's called Jason Bourne, and this seems like the penultimate for him. Like I don't see him doing 3 more of Jason Bourne movies.
No, I think he might be getting tired of it.
Yeah, but Jeremy Renner and Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, like they could make their own thing.
And maybe that's what they're thinking, for him to co-lead something.
I would love that. Between those two personalities, I think they would work really well together on screen. We saw Renner, who I think was supposed to take over the Mission Impossible franchise, but they realized that Tom Cruise is just aging backwards and doing all this stuff. So
still makes so much money.
Yeah, like Renner's the arguably 4th least important in those movies every time around. Like he's the guy who just like, oh, I'll go talk to this guy, I guess.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. You have any final thoughts on the project?
I mean, I like that Dwayne Johnson might get his own role. It just seems like a overdone topic.
You think he's connected? I mean, he is connected to a potential 16 movies that are either in develop, like on his IMDb page. It's insane.
Yeah, he's a workhorse.
Yes, he is.
I don't know how he does it. I read somewhere that he's putting on like another 40 pounds for Fast 8.
Really?
Because he just got finished filming the Baywatch movie.
Yeah.
And he had to cut, I don't know, whatever he had to. But I'm sure he still looks the same.
Yeah, which makes sense. That's another problem I might have with this. Like,
he might be too big.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Because, like, Jason Bourne, as like ripped as Matt Damon could be, he's still a fairly small guy. Like he goes into a crowd, he disappears.
Yeah.
Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson doesn't go into a crowd and disappear.
No, he's a former defensive end.
Yeah,
you can't hide those.
Yeah. So, although he certainly seemed to disappear on the football field, but it's
ouch. It hurts.
All right. With that all being said, let's go on to the next story. Don't break me, Dwayne. Don't break me.
Be gentle.
Fans of tennis in the 1970s and mentally unstable actors will be ecstatic to hear the Transformers and Fury star Shia Labeouf will be portraying fellow anger management member John McEnroe in an upcoming biopic. The film will follow the tennis legend's career as well as his infamous rivalry with Bjorn Borg. Jim, what do you think of the project, and are you buying?
Yes, I am buying the casting. The casting is genius.
It is super good. Like,
I mean, who else are you going to help or have play a nutcase on the court?
Yeah.
The biggest nutcase in Hollywood.
Yeah, and I mean, McEnroe had that white guy fro going in the 70s, and we've seen that when Labeouf grows his hair out from like even Stevens back in the day, he got the white boy fro. So
yeah, it plays perfect. They're probably similar builds.
Yeah.
And I mean, when was the last time we had a tennis movie?
It's a good question.
It's been a while. It's something a little bit newer.
Yeah, well, we had the HBO one.
With Kit Harington and Andy Samberg.
Yeah, that like spoof film.
Yeah, I'm not going to count that one.
Yeah, but the last one I can think of is Wimbledon. It's a fantastic movie, people. Paul Bettany and Kirsten Dunst at their best. This movie performs the tremendous task of actually making Kirsten Dunst feel attractive.
Ouch.
Yeah. I mean, she's
on fire today. She's throwing tons of punches.
She's a good-looking lady, but like she's not great in a whole lot. This movie,
I think she fits that because she's like a tennis player. She seems longer.
Yeah, she seems longer. She's got the proper build.
She's petite.
Yeah. Plus, they give her some pretty suggestive dialogue, so
that always helps.
Yeah, but no, Paul Bettany's amazing in this film. It's got James McAvoy before he was James McAvoy. I highly recommend you going out and seeing that movie, but I also I'm going to recommend this movie because I think Shia LaBeouf's the perfect casting for this film. I can't wait to see who they cast against him because that actor will probably want to fire his agent afterwards.
Yeah, he's got to be. It'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, but it's interesting. We're getting 2 tennis movies now because we're getting that Battle of the Sexes film with Steve Carell and Emma Stone, who they are going to tell the story of where she plays Billie Jean King in her infamous match against Bobby Riggs. So that's going to be interesting. I think that comes out probably next year. I know they've started filming already. Could come out this year, actually, but
let's see. We've got 2017.
Yeah, so interesting that we're gonna have 2 tennis stars. Maybe they're running out of stories that, like, hey, we haven't had a sports movie come out all year. Let's bring back boxing and let's bring back tennis.
Yeah, I think the Johnny Mac biopic, I guess we can call it, seems a little bit early. I don't know if it's time for that yet.
Yeah, I mean, he hasn't played in 30 years.
Yeah, but the guy's still alive. Does that sound bad?
I mean, no, that makes sense. You know what I think would have been interesting? An Andre Agassi story. You know, are you familiar? Yeah. Because like everybody thought he was the super cool guy in tennis. Then after he retired, he wrote his book, and he's like, "Yeah, no, I was on meth the entire time."
Yeah.
I
mean, that would be like a Nicolas Cage type.
Yeah.
Shoot, what's that movie called?
The one that he won an Oscar for? Leaving Las Vegas?
Yeah, it was Leaving Las Vegas. Yeah. It could be like a Leaving Las Vegas film with Nicolas Cage just being an alcoholic and gambling. Yeah,
no, that makes sense. I dig this movie. I think it's going to be important to see who else they cast, and I also wonder, I didn't see who this film was going to go through or anything like that, so I hope it gets a wide release. Because I like LaBeouf as an actor. I think he's an asshole in person, but
yeah, I think everyone does.
Yeah, but he's talented. Like,
yeah, I mean, Lawless was pretty good.
Yeah,
Fury was really good.
Fury was great. Yeah, if only
Even Stevens was, if tolerable.
Only didn't go crazy and he was like, because I thought he was good in, like, people make fun of the Transformers movies, but like I didn't really hate him in the Transformers movies. I thought he was interesting at least. Yeah. Like, was it top level acting? No, but like, he kept my interest.
Yeah, I mean, even the terrible Indiana Jones movie, he was okay.
Yeah, that's twice we referenced that movie. It's like a Beetlejuice situation. If we reference it again, George Lucas is going to pop up and just bitch smack us.
I hope not. He's a bigger guy.
All right, let's go on to our next story. But before we do that, what do you guys think of the casting? Do you like Shia LaBeouf, or you think he's a ladouche? Huh?
I like to play on words.
Let us know. You can send us an email to ihbpodcast@gmail.com and either tell us what you think of that, or you can even ask us a question. Maybe you have something you want to know that you don't feel like Googling yourself, so let us Google it.
Or help us with some screen time.
Yeah, that would be great.
Fans of the classic horror films may be thrilled by this next story.
The horror films?
Horror.
Makes sense.
No W.
You know the word is pronounced horror, right? Like,
what?
Horror.
Yeah, horror. I thought you were just joking because I said it a bunch of times.
You said, the first 2 times you said it, you said horror films.
Did I?
Yeah, that's why I was like,
to.
That like was like, oh yeah, horror films. Yeah, horror films. I was like, oh, okay, he gets the joke. He's saying what I'm saying, and then it's like, no, it's horror. Horror films and horror films are much different.
Depends who you ask.
Go ahead.
Fans of the classic horror films may be thrilled by this next story or terrified, but it looks like we may be getting new entries into the Friday the 13th and Halloween franchises. First off, Platinum Dunes co-founder Brad Fuller just said in an interview that the studio has been in heavy talks with Aaron Guzikowski.
Your guess is as good as mine. Alphabet.
We're going to roll it. Who is penning the next Jason flick, even recently exchanging notes. And then just a few days ago, Blumhouse Pictures producer Jason Blumhouse announced that horror legend John Carpenter will executive produce a new Halloween film for Blumhouse Miramax in hopes of a 2017 release. Which film are you looking forward to more, Dom?
Honestly, the Friday the 13th movie. The last time, actually both of these films, the last time we had an installment in the franchises came out in the same year. The Friday the 13th reboot, produced by Michael Bay, came out in 2009, and so did Halloween 2. The Rob Zombie directed film came out in 2009 as well. I actually liked the rebooted Friday the 13th movie for the first hour and a half. After that, it kind of fell apart for me, but up until that point, it was classic Jason stuff, just killing people with random objects. And I think I'm looking forward to that one more because I don't hold those older Friday the 13th movies to such a high level. Like Halloween 1 and 2 are amazing. Straight classic films. And Halloween 4, I have a special place in my heart for.
Interesting.
Yeah.
These are some of the horror movies that I actually enjoy. Friday the 13th and Halloween. All the new recent ones with like Insidious or all those other ones really bore the shit out of me.
Do they?
Yeah, I really don't like those. But these ones, I don't know why, but I just find more interesting and more entertaining. So I'm happy to hear that they're going to be making these again. It's about time. 2009 is too long.
Yeah, and because these are great characters, and I think that's what I'm probably most excited for. Because, like you said, the recent horror movies, they're all the demonic possession type things, and it has to do with ghosts or demons or ghouls and
which I don't really believe exist either. So that it just bores me.
Oh, that's a whole nother question for a completely different podcast. We're not going to tempt the spirits here.
I'm
James.
okay with it. I'm okay with it.
Yeah, but it's nice to have a name to fear, kind of. Like for instance, I love the first Paranormal Activity. I fully admit that movie scared the shit out of me, but the subsequent films that named him Toby, it got a little bit harder for me to be like, oh shit, I'm scared of Toby.
Yeah.
Jason, while I don't fear him as much as I did when I was a kid or something, I won't be going to sleep tonight checking behind my door to make sure Jason's not there. But you can bet your ass before I go to sleep, I'm going to give quick corner looks to make sure there's no Toby.
Might want to check under the bed too. You never know.
It's on the floor, so that would be difficult.
That hurts. You could have just rolled with that and just helped me out. I had nowhere to go on that one.
Which one of these films are you looking forward to? Is there a leader in your head?
I think the Halloween. Just because I've always liked those better.
Yeah?
Yeah. I'm trying to think. What was that Halloween?
H2O is the one with Josh Hartnett.
Yeah, I think that's the one I remember vividly.
Yeah, I remember seeing H2O at the drive-in, actually.
I can't remember where I saw it, but that was the one I actually enjoyed a lot. Because it came out in 98, so I was fairly young.
Yeah, 9?
Yeah.
Oh, right, yeah. Bad parenting right there. Doesn't say much about either one of our parents that we were allowed to go see Halloween H2O at 9.
Yeah, I also saw Sixth Sense in theaters.
Yeah?
Oh, I cried. I was too young for that one.
Oh, gosh. Which is insane.
Yeah.
Speaking of those movies, I was thinking about this the other day, and I'm so, disappointed in the fact that I grew up in the generation to where two of the biggest twist endings were ruined for me.
Being Sixth Sense.
And spoilers here, so if you don't want to know about these two spoilers, because for some reason you haven't seen these movies, you should skip ahead a couple of minutes. I'll throw up a graphic on the screen or something, but Sixth Sense, and The Usual Suspects.
All right, first off, after so many years, I don't think we have to say spoiler.
True, but these two are like...
Yeah, they're big ones.
And true, it does... With The Usual Suspects, I don't know. I don't think... Like, a lot of people know who Kaiser Soze is.
Yeah.
Like, my mom probably, like, wouldn't know.
No.
But Sixth Sense is the one where, like, everybody knows.
Everyone knows.
Like, he's dead.
Yeah.
Like, that's one we don't have to say spoilers on. That was more for The Usual Suspects.
Yeah. Great movie, by the way.
Yeah. I mean, your Twitter handle.
It just feels right.
Yeah. But it just... Like, I remember, like, because I hadn't seen The Usual Suspects until, like, a year or two ago. Partially because I just didn't have access to it, and then it popped up on, like, HBO one day.
Yeah, I think it's on Netflix now or something.
Yeah, so... But I knew that Kevin Spacey was Kaiser Soze. So it took it away from me a little bit.
Oh, it does. Big time.
Yeah, but it's just one of those things where it's, like... Arguably two of the biggest twists in history. And we happen to grow up in that generation where, like, you saw it in the theaters, but it didn't register with you at the time. Like, I'm like,
yeah, it was a couple years later after I rewatched it.
Yeah, but it's
with
just
my nightlight on.
So, not to get off topic, but that's one of those things where I'm like, damn.
And I think the similarities of both those films is pretty impressive because within the last, 5 minutes is when you actually find out the plot twist.
Yeah.
Not 3/4 of the way through the movie.
Mm-hmm.
I think it makes it more memorable.
Yeah, and it holds the audience's attention up until the plot twist. Like, you don't need the plot twist in the middle to be that attention grabber to be like, all right, I'm still in this movie.
Yeah, and if you see it in theaters, you're leaving the theater and be like, holy shit, what just happened?
Yeah, exactly. But a little off topic. Long story short, Jim is looking forward to the Halloween franchise coming back. I'm looking forward to the Friday the 13th franchise coming back.
To each his own.
Yeah. Which one are you guys looking forward to? Is it either one of these films, or are you looking forward to maybe a different kind of film coming out? All right, and before we end the episode today, a new segment that we introduced last week. It's called Hot or Not, temporarily, because we don't remember what we called it last week, to be honest. But here's where James and I are going to go back over the stories that we talked about and tell you which one we are most interested in and which one are we least interested in, and maybe a reason why. So, James, what is your top pick and your bottom pick?
Top pick this week, my hot, as we're calling it, is the Johnny McEnroe movie.
With
Shia Labeouf.
That's a good pick.
Because the casting couldn't be any better.
No, it is so spot on.
I mean, he looks like him. He definitely acts like him. I'm sure he's got a temper.
Mm-hmm.
I just feel bad whoever's playing across from him.
Yeah, no, that is a good hot to have. Okay, and then my hot that I'm going to go with is the, believe it or not, despite the fact that I said I don't like the trailer, is the Beauty and the Beast teaser trailer.
Fair enough.
Simply because the reason I hated it so much is because of how little it showed us, and now I'm like, I want to see more. Like, and it did, and it was a return to what teaser trailers are supposed to be. Like, it was just one of those things where it was short, and I was like, well, I need to see more. I need to see what Emma Watson looks like. I need to see what the Beast looks like. I want to see what Luminaire looks like. Where's Gaston? Where's LeFou?
Yeah, it makes sense. I think it's a smart move by Disney doing an actual teaser.
Yeah, so
makes you want more. It's not like Suicide Squads, which, of course, everyone still wants to see that one.
Yeah,
but I mean, what do they got? 4 2-minute trailers?
Oh, easily, yeah.
Something stupid like that.
Yeah, so that's my hot is definitely the Beauty and the Beast teaser trailer. Let's bring things down with your not.
The not. It's got to be the Dwayne Johnson movie.
Yeah, that's a good pick.
1, the title sucks.
Yes, it does.
2, I feel like we've seen it before, just with a different character. And 3, I don't know if Dwayne Johnson can actually do it himself.
Yeah, I agree. Likewise for me, I think the easy pick on the list could be the Friday the 13th or Halloween franchise, but it's to me, it's more one of those things where it's like I get a kick out of the movies, even when they're bad. They're kind of still good. Like I don't mind them. It's not like it hurts me. Like I'm not a lover of horror that much to where when these movies come out, I'm like, oh, it is a slap in the face to what these movies used to be. It's like, it's a fun killing movie. Like, it's so I'm not going to pick that one. I'm on the same ledge as you. Dwayne Johnson, the Janssen Directive.
So close to Jason.
It just doesn't hit home for me, and for the same reasons you did.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah. What about you guys out there? What was the most interesting and least interesting topic for you, the hot or not? You can let us know in the comment section below, or you can hit us up on the social media features we tell you about in a second. I want to thank you all for tuning in, all you IHBs. If you enjoyed the show, please like the episode and subscribe to the I've Had Better Podcast Network. Also, follow us on Twitter at IHB Podcast, and on Facebook, go like the I've Had Better Podcast page. James, tell them where to find you when you're not stuck in hair surgery.
Hair surgery?
It's a thing. Look it up.
It's called a barbershop?
That too, but I wanted to... It's technical. It's like you're not supposed to call a stewardess anymore.
What are they, flight attendant?
I think so.
No. Anyway. You can follow me on Twitter at _Kaiser_Soze, or on Facebook as Jimmy Langos. And don't forget to check out our website, www.ihbpodcast.com. And please start listening to the iTunes. We need more listens.
Yeah, and you guys can find that by just going onto iTunes and searching either IHB Movies or I've Had Better Podcast. Either one will take you right to us. We have a couple of great episodes up right now, so go listen to those. And also, do us a favor. In the comments section of iTunes, leave a little note, give us a rating, because the more ratings we get, the more stars we accrue. Apparently, the way iTunes system works is you pop up in more people's search engines and things like that. So it would really help if you guys went and did that. Just give us, even if you you can be honest, give us whatever rating you like. Hopefully it's a 5, maybe it's a 4, and then leave a comment. We're always looking to improve, so if there's something you guys don't like about the show, just let us know. But with all that being said, I am Dominic Demore. You can follow me on Twitter at DomDemore. That's DOMDEMORE. Or on Facebook at Dominic Demore. How was the show today, James?
I've had better.
Good night, everybody.